Hi, and welcome to today's webinar all about getting your protein in, tips and basics. I'm Dr. Dr. Kathleen Cannon, and I'm a naturopathic physician. We all know protein is an important aspect of a balanced diet. So let's start talking about some basic things to know. And also, I'm going to share with you one of my top tips for protein consumption. Super simple and super powerful. So in this webinar, we're going to go through why protein is important. Then we'll talk about some general guidelines. We'll talk about different types of protein, and then I'll give you that super simple and effective tip that you can start using as soon as you want to. And then later on in the webinar, I'd love to share with you about Maximize Your Energy, my e-course. So that's coming later. I want to let you know to be upfront that I will be sharing that information later. But before that, we're going to talk all about protein. Now, as a general disclaimer, this material is for informational and educational purposes only. This is not medical advice. I'm a doctor, but I'm not your doctor. Always check with your own healthcare provider before making any changes. Okay, so consuming adequate protein is one aspect of health that, when it's off, it can really impact your body's ability to function well. And you may have experienced this firsthand, or you may have just heard about this importance before, but it is very, very important. We'll talk more about that in a moment. So what's the right amount of protein? What's that kind of magic number? Well, there's not really a simple answer. It's different for everyone because we're all individuals, but there are some general guidelines. If your doctor or healthcare provider has given you specific recommendations for protein, make sure you follow that advice. This is especially important if you have any underlying health concerns, conditions, anything at all. Always follow your own doctor's advice and always check with your own doctor or healthcare provider before making changes. Okay, so protein. Protein, again, it's essential for the body. It's known as the building block of cells, and there's good reason for that. So protein is made up of peptides, which are just, you can think of them as little pieces of protein. Peptides, in turn, are made up of amino acids. Amino acids are like tiny little bits of protein. So we're going from big pieces of protein to smaller pieces, peptides, and then to much smaller pieces, amino acids. And so with amino acids, your DNA actually tells your body how to assemble amino acids to build things. So the amino acids get put together in different ways, instructed by your DNA. These amino acids are put together in different ways to make things like your cell membranes and enzymes and tissues, and everything in your body is constructed on this kind of, you can think of it as like protein scaffolding in a sense. So amino acids are very, very important. Again, your DNA instructs your body how to use those amino acids to do what it needs to do. Your physical body is actually rebuilt over time. That's every aspect of your physical body. All of your cells, all of your organs, all of your tissues, everything is rebuilt using amino acids, i.e. protein, right? So when we hear amino acids, think protein. Amino acids are just teeny bits of protein. Now, there are different components in the body that take different amounts of time to rebuild, but it's really quite amazing that the whole body rebuilds over time. So for example, your entire liver takes approximately 7 years or so to rebuild. And red blood cells get renewed in a sense every few months or so. If you think about it, your entire physical body 10 years ago was actually completely different physical matter than it is today. Wow, huh? That's pretty amazing. So your body is continually rebuilding. And in order for you to get from where you were 10 years ago to now, your body has to use protein that you consume to rebuild itself. Really amazing. Now, along with this, protein is essential for the health of your physiological systems, including things like your musculoskeletal function. So that's like how you move around in your body, your hair, and also your skin and your nails, that kind of stuff, your digestion, your blood, your cellular signaling, everything in your body really uses protein. Now, some general guidelines for protein from the USDA, they recommend 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. This is a very generalized estimate for an average person. And this is also where the information that you see on nutrition labels comes from. It comes from this USDA recommendation. So again, the USDA recommends 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. For adult women, they estimate this to be about 45 grams per day, and for adult men, they estimate this is about 55 grams per day. This is from the USDA. These are very general recommendations. Again, they don't take into account individual variations and needs. An example of this, based on the USDA recommendations that we just saw, a 150-pound person would have a recommended daily protein intake equal to about 55 grams of protein a day. The calculation is here. It's pretty straightforward. You do have to convert the kilograms to pounds if you think of your weight or you know your weight in pounds instead of kilograms. And you can just plug in your weight number right here where it says 150 if you want to do this calculation, and then just carry it through. So this is based on the USDA recommendation again. Now, you can think of the USDA recommendation like the minimum amount needed for protein. If you're more physically active, your body may need more protein than just that minimum amount. How much more is a good question. Some research shows that anywhere from 1.2 to 2 grams per kilogram of body weight could be helpful for those who are more physically active. Remember, that original USDA recommendation was 0.8. And now this research is mentioning 1.2 to 2 grams. So that's a big jump. So you do want to make sure to check with your healthcare provider if this is going to be a big change for you. But in general, the more active you are, the more protein your body may need. And I do want to emphasize that increased protein is not right for everyone, especially with certain health conditions such as kidney issues. So make sure you check with your own healthcare provider before making any changes here, especially if they're significant changes. You want to take care of yourself, and you're an individual, so that's important to note. Now, let's talk about some types of protein. So we have animal and vegetable sources of protein, right? And you're probably already very familiar with a lot of these. So animal sources of protein, these are the most common here in the US. Red meat, we have beef, like steak, hamburger. We also have lamb, venison, game meat. Poultry, so chicken, turkey, hen, etc. Pork and other pork products, so things like ham, bacon, sausage. And then fish, lots and lots of fish, salmon, tuna, haddock, cod, anchovy, sardines, etc. And then shellfish, lobster, crab, and so on. Eggs are not dairy. Most commonly we have chicken eggs, but there's other types of poultry eggs as well. And then dairy, so milks, cheese, yogurt, etc. And then we have vegetable protein sources, which include things like beans, all sorts of beans, black beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, Suzuki beans, etc. So many beans. And we have lentils and legumes. Peanuts are actually a legume. They are not a nut. We have nuts and nut butters, so almonds, walnuts, cashews, Brazil nuts, etc. You can make a nut butter out of pretty much any nut. And then seeds and seed butters, same thing. You can make a seed butter out of pretty much any seed. So sunflower seeds, chia seeds, sesame seeds, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, etc. And then grains. And grains do contain protein depending on the grain, different amounts, but buckwheat, quinoa, whole wheat, rice, etc. And quinoa is actually kind of a seed more technically, but we have it in the grain group here because that's typically how we think of it. And if you're looking for it at the store, that's typically where you would find it. Okay, so with vegetable proteins, When you combine certain proteins that are vegetables, you can combine them in a way to get more of the essential amino acids out of them. Remember, those amino acids are those tiny little bits of protein that our bodies use. So combining beans and rice gives you a complete protein. Beans and rice is kind of like the classic example of this through a vegetable protein. So rather than just having beans by themselves, if you add rice, you get a more complete protein. So there's a synergy there. They work very well together. Most vegetables contain small but somewhat decent amounts of protein. Different vegetables contain different amounts of protein. Really, vegetables are not a huge source of protein overall. Almost all foods do contain protein, just not really in that significant of amounts. So the proteins that were on the two prior slides are really kind of the more protein-rich foods. And you can just rewind this a little bit and pause if you want to take a screenshot or anything like that, if there was a new protein on there listed, or you just want to have an easy reference. Okay, so now for one of my top tips on protein consumption. Eat your protein first. It's so simple. Yes, that simple. Eat your protein first. Now, what this does is it allows your protein to have first dibs on your digestive juices. So your protein gets first access to your digestive power. That means your protein gets digested better, which both increases its absorption and it also increases your body's ability to assimilate and use it. So you get a lot more bang for your protein buck. Now, priority access to your stomach acid is important for protein because protein tends to be the most difficult food to digest, especially when it comes to animal protein. So when you give your protein first dibs, first access to that stomach acid, it allows your protein to get the maximum benefit of the stomach acid. It allows it to really be maximally digested, which in turn allows your body to use it the most. Remember those tiny, tiny amino acids we talked about earlier? We have protein and then smaller blocks, peptides, and then smaller amino acids. Those amino acids, your protein has to get broken down into them, and then your body can use those amino acids. So to go from protein to amino acids, there's a lot of digestion that has to happen. So what goes into your stomach first gets first access to your stomach acid. There's other digestive enzymes involved as well, but your stomach acid is a big one, especially when it comes to animal protein. So your other foods like vegetables and grains, they're generally not as difficult to digest as protein. So prioritizing protein going in can make a big difference. This simple shift can be very helpful. And so while this tip may seem simple, it can make a significant difference, especially if you're prone to things like heartburn or bloating or other digestive sorts of upsets. Don't underestimate the power of simple shifts or seemingly simple shifts. This shift of allowing your body to get the maximum benefit of protein, but also allowing for more proper digestion to happen can make a big difference. So to recap the webinar, we covered why protein is essential, some general guidelines for protein consumption, animal and vegetable sources of protein, and one of my favorite super simple tips you can start using today for protein consumption. If you want a refresher on any of these things, rewind the webinar and take a screenshot or jot down some notes. This is a great resource. You can come back and check it out again. Remember, protein provides your body with an essential source of energy. It's like a scaffolding for your body to do so much with, to rebuild itself with and to fuel itself. So important. Taking care of your body and its energy needs allows your body to power you through each day, every day. Giving yourself the gift of good nutrition goes so far for your health and well-being and your energy. So now I'd love to share with you about the e-course that I've created, Maximize Your Energy. Maximize Your Energy is all about 10 powerful strategies to increase your daily energy so you have more time for the things that matter in life. What would you do if you had 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes every day, or even more time than that? I created this course because fatigue is one of the most common complaints I hear from patients across the board, regardless of age or other health conditions. Fatigue is such a common factor today, and fatigue affects us on the mental, emotional, and physical levels, and it certainly impacts our quality of life. Fatigue always has different causes for different people. It's always multifaceted, but it is such a common theme that I wanted to create a course that would allow me to share this information that can really create a very strong energy foundation for you. So with maximizing your energy, this course is all about learning the tools to not only manage, but also to maximize your physical and mental energy. And that empowers you to make even more healthy changes. And it also gives you the tools for long-term health and well-being. So this is not like a quick fix type of course. It's not any fad or trendy diet information. It's nothing like that. These are foundational wellness principles that will help you to maximize your energy and will also most likely help you to enjoy a greater quality of life and state of well-being. So I'd love to tell you a little bit about me. I'm a naturopathic physician. I used to work in a very high-stress job before I went back to medical school. I saw firsthand the power of using natural and holistic tools for healing. That's what attracted me to naturopathic medicine in the first place. Some things that I love to do outside of doing naturopathic medicine include nature walks, which actually that's kind of naturopathic, right? And then I love roasted broccoli and garlic and raw cacao. I'm an animal lover, especially dogs. I love exploring historic towns and I love warm weather. Although New England winters are really nice and cozy, so don't get me wrong. I am motivated and committed to making a positive change in this world. That's why I left my prior career to go back to school, to go back to medical school, because I wanted to do something that would create lasting and positive change in the world. So now let's talk a little bit about the e-course. Maximize Your Energy is entirely online or digital. It's self-paced, meaning you can keep up with the materials as they're released every week, or you can go at your own pace. After the weeks of materials are all released, you still have access to them. They don't go away. So self-paced, or you can go with the materials as they're released. I'll explain that more in a moment. Again, the access to the materials is ongoing. They don't go away after the weeks are over. And then the information itself is simple, it's straightforward, it's easy to use and understand. It has to be practical. The format of the course, again, it's all online. It's 10 strategies, 10 powerful strategies to increase your daily energy. Each of the strategies is organized in its own learning module. And every week, a new learning module is released. So these learning modules or strategy modules, they contain a series of short video presentations. You can think of them like bite-sized video presentations. They're not super long. They also contain recaps, worksheets, checklists, and other resources and templates and examples as relevant depending on the strategy. And then you also get a bonus week with additional materials. These 10 powerful strategies, they're not a secret. I include them all on my website and I'm going to give them to you right now. They're not a secret. Here they are. So, scheduling your time and sticking to it, get moving, choose whole food, consume adequate protein. So, we touched on that today for sure. Rest well, limit alcohol, reduce refined sugars, limit caffeine, social engagement, and manage stress. 10 powerful strategies, and we go in depth into all of these and a lot more in the course. So in the course, again, we go through each strategy in depth, one by one, and we delve into what exactly we're talking about. We get clarity around what the specifics are, and then why it matters so much. So I go into research and just talk about why this makes such a difference for your energy, for your health and well-being. And then we go into how you go about implementing this, incorporating it into your life, the practical aspects. Again, there's additional resources to support you, including things like checklists and worksheets, recaps, and other tools depending on the strategy. So you can go through the course as the materials released every week, one strategy module each week for the 10 weeks. Or you can go through the course at your own pace. You can do one module every couple weeks. You can spread it out. If one module is taking a little bit longer one week, you can just move that into a couple weeks. You can really make this your own pace. The materials don't go away after the 10 weeks wrap up. You have access to them ongoing. It's important to note that this course is not and does not contain any medical advice. It's for educational and informational purposes only. And I always encourage you to check in with your own healthcare provider before making any changes, because you are an individual. You're a beautiful individual, and your own provider knows you best. So always check in with your own healthcare provider. What this course is it is chock full of the information, the materials to get you educated, informed, and motivated, and give you the practical tools to help you to incorporate these powerful strategies. So, all that said, the information in this course can serve you for life. It's not trendy diets, it's not quick fixes. These strategies empower you to prioritize your own health and well-being for the long term. This is real, powerful, life-changing information. Now, some feedback that we've gotten from the course is here. One student said, Dr. Casey has developed a comprehensive program for maximizing daily energy and improving overall health. Another student said, very informative, self-paced opportunity and easy to follow. And then another student said, an excellent course. So some really nice feedback. And another piece of feedback that we've gotten is that the materials are not too much and they're not too little. It's not too overwhelming, but it's not too light. So I do want to emphasize that actually there's no fluff in the course. It's very efficient and it's crafted in such a way as to allow you to just get the most out of each moment that you're spending with the course. There's no fluff, but there's also a lot of tools, resources, materials to help support you and guide you. So the course value here, the course value, total value is over $4,700. And that's all the content created by a naturopathic doctor, including all the video sessions and presentations, all of the recaps, all of the worksheets. The worksheets help to keep you engaged. There's handouts that keep you informed and for easy reference. There's a lot of other curated resources and checklists. Everything together is over $4,700. And of course, the bonus materials. So the bonus materials will be in their own week after the 10 weeks, and those are still there, ongoing as well. So no rush to get through just to get to those. You have access to all of this after those 10 weeks. It doesn't go away. So again, the total course is valued at over $4,700. You gain access for only $597, and this is an investment in your health, in your future health and well-being. Now, if you've stayed with me for this far into the video, I know you're at least somewhat interested in the course. And so as a holiday gift, because 2020 has been such a year for so many of us, I want to give you access to the course for even less than that initial investment that I just mentioned. With the code SNOWBALL, I know, cute code, right? With the code SNOWBALL, you can access the course for only $297. Everything is the same. It's just a discounted holiday gift for being here on this webinar. So to recap, the total course is valued at over $4,700. You gain access with an investment of $597, but as a holiday discount right now, you can use the code SNOWBALL to gain access for only $297. And I'll put this website in the comments and text area below for reference. It's also on my website. So as a recap overall here, the total course is valued at over $4,700. Again, you invest $597 and get access to the course, but right now as a holiday gift, you can get access for only $297 with the code SNOWBALL. The links will be below. The course starts on January 1st. We start with the new year. Registration also closes on January 1st. So if you want in, use this code SNOWBALL by or on January 1st to get your access and to get started. Thank you so much for being here on this webinar, and I hope you've learned some new information about getting your protein in, from the basics of protein consumption to the recommendations. And remember that top tip, one of my favorite tips for protein, is to eat your protein first for all the reasons that we talked about a little while earlier. I hope to see you in the e-course. I truly do. But regardless, I hope you've enjoyed this webinar, and I hope that you stay tuned for future webinars and talks. Feel free to check out my website. I provide a lot of free information online, and I'll include the links below, as I mentioned. All of the information that I covered in today's webinar regarding Maximize Your Energy, the course, is all on my website, and there's more there too, frequently asked questions as well, and a little bit more detail. So please feel free to check that out. As a reminder, the registration closes on January 1st, so make sure to sign up on or by January 1st to get into the course. Let's maximize your energy. Let's get your year started the right way. I hope you'll join us. Regardless, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful new year. May you be well.